Good morning and welcome back to Question Intense with me, Matt. Okay, today it's a pretty mild January morning actually. It's not anywhere as near as cold as you'd expect it to be. I've just done the school run and I'm wearing an absolutely fantastic fragrance for this time of year. In fact, for any time of year. I've long been championing GOF Trumpers Sandalwood Cologne. Big fan of sandalwood, and I've finally found another one that's equally as good, possibly a little bit more wearable, and that's what we're going to talk about today. So here comes a quick review of Costume National Homme, and there it is. Beautiful little bottle, bit of a strange lid because the cap, as you can see there, actually looks very much like the sprayer. Now, wearing the fragrance at the moment, so as per usual, I'm going to spray a little bit now for the purposes of the review. In fact, I shall put a little bit on both wrists. Okay, so this is a delight. It came out in 2009, and the nose behind it is the master perfumer, Dominique Roquillon. Now, I have a couple of his creations. Chopard's Oud Maliki, which I absolutely adore. Full review of that down there, so have a look. Beautiful fragrance, but this is something else. It was recommended to me a long time ago and I've been really sluggish about finding it and getting it, and I got a bottle I don't know, sort of about a month or so before Christmas. As you can see, this is a 50ml bottle. Sorry, I've got fingerprints all over the glass, but it's very functional. It's quite a cute bottle. There's a little dip in it. Pretty nice stuff. Simplistic but effective, I think, would probably be the best way of putting it. And this is a 50ml, and as you can see, I've gone through an awful lot of it because I'm wearing it all the time. It's a beautiful fragrance, and it is quite different to Trumpers Sandalwood, although they both celebrate sandalwood, and they are both, you know, sandalwood dominant fragrances. There's no getting away from that. Costume National Pour Homme does things in a slightly different way. They both use a citrus style opening, and they both have some spices, but with Costume National, the spicing is a little bit more intense. So if we have a look at the notes, at the top you have cardamom and you have bergamot. In the middle you have cinnamon, thyme and cloves. And on the base you have patchouli, you have sandalwood and you have ladamum. I also suspect there's some musk in here and possibly a little bit of tobacco because it's a rich fragrance. It has amazing performance. It has really good projection. It has incredible sillage. It really does leave a wonderful trail, and it lasts and lasts and lasts. You're getting at least 10 to 12 hours out of this. So this is a beautiful fragrance. I think it's a very manly fragrance. I think it's uber masculine. However, a good friend of mine, the queen of niche fragrances herself, she would love this because she's a sandalwood junkie, shall we say. And I understand that because more and more fragrances that I own are sandalwood dominant. If you look at some of my favourites, if you look at, say, Gerolf's Ivory Root or Auto Paresi Seminalis, these are two uber niche fragrances that I own and enjoy, and they're both massively sandalwood dominant. Obviously the Trumpers, which I've mentioned already, the Trumpers Cologne is very much sandalwood dominant, and this of course now is my new favourite sandalwood. Now I got this through a Facebook group very cheaply. I think the 50ml retails at under £50, and I think you can get the 100ml for probably around £75, and honestly it's punching way above its class in terms of cost. This is as good, if not better, than any of the fragrances I've just mentioned. This is so good. It really does hold up to the more expensive niche alternatives that are out there. Fabulous fragrance. It has been compared to Clive Christian's X, which I don't know, and it has been compared to Amouage's Jubilation, which I have smelled but quite a long time ago, and I totally agree with that. The most sort of accurate thing would be, someone on Fragrantica described it as taking Chanel's Egoiste and blending it with Santal 33 to get this kind of effect, and I get that. That's totally right. When you spray it, you get the sharp blast of bergamot, and I think it kind of mixes with the grapefruit, so it's not like, say, Bergamusk, where you smell bergamot in its entirety. What you do is you get a citrusy esque blast that opens, but it's joined very, very quickly with the cardamom. The cardamom and the cloves seem to me to be the kind of the more dominant notes that you'll get in the opening, and they are blended to perfection. Cloves and cinnamon come in as support notes, and then it all becomes about the cinnamon. It all becomes about the sandalwood. The patchouli lends a little bit of gravitas to it and makes it kind of very sophisticated. But it's, again, this fragrance is a celebration of sandalwood, and you have to love sandalwood to get on with this. I personally love it and think sandalwood is one of the most amazing notes. It's perfect for a winter's morning. It's also perfect for a summer's evening. Now, when I go on holiday with the family, whatever, you're out all day in hot weather, you're in and out the pool, you've been on the beach, you're covered in sand. When you come back in the evening, it's still warm, you have your shower and you get ready to go out for dinner. This to me is the perfect time to wear it. I love sandalwood in hot weather because to me, it just smells so clean. And it's just a lovely, although it's a warming note, I think it suits hot weather very well. I know I'm probably on my own in this as well, but I think it suits really hot weather very, very well, especially in the evening. Maybe not in the daytime when you want something a lot more citrusy and a lot more sharp and a lot more sort of biting, to cut through the heat. But in the evening, in a summer's evening, I think that's the perfect time to wear sandalwood. It is very good in the winter. It's, as I said earlier, you can wear this all year round. There's no doubt about it. It's perfect for everything, every situation. It will be a good one to wear to work. It will be a good one to wear out if you're suited and booted. It will be a good one to wear down the pub with your mates. It's just a beautiful, beautiful fragrance. And because of the level of performance that comes with it, you've got it on all day. So if you are, for example, wearing this to work, you can apply this in the morning, go to work and come back, and you'll still be smelling it when you come home. The projection is very, very strong for the first 3 or 4 hours. The sillage seems to mirror that. It stays with it for the same amount of time. Then after that, it becomes slightly more than a skin scent. It doesn't disappear and you're never searching for it. This is a strong fragrance. Trust me, this is really, really good. Also, because I think it is uber masculine, it does give that kind of manly aura. However, saying that, if you're a female and you love sandalwood, then this is well worth exploring because it is a beautiful quality fragrance. And I think for the money that you can get it for, you've got to have a crack at it. It's well worth it. Is it blind buy worthy? Totally and utterly, 100%. I blind bought this and I'm so glad I did because because I think this has been around for quite a long time. It's like 10 years old. You don't hear much hype about it and nobody really talks about it. It's certainly one that's relevant today and certainly one that doesn't smell dated at all. This is a perfect fragrance. If you like, for example, Chanel's Egoist, which it does have some, and to be fair, Trumper's cologne also has a resemblance to Egoist. I prefer this to Egoist and I massively prefer this to Egoist. I do like, and I'm not, beating on Chanel's Egoist because I think it's a very, very important fragrance and a very good one. This is just a little less fussy. It's a little less complicated. There's enough going on to make it very interesting, but it just seems, Egoist to me seems quite dense, and this doesn't. It's still very sandalwoody, but it's a kind of light and an airy thing, and it's a more, I'm going to say more refined than Egoist, which sounds quite mad because Chanel's Egoist is famous for being such a refined fragrance. But the Costume National Pour Homme is indeed a very beautifully blended, very almost regal and very refined fragrance. I can't recommend this enough. I'm going to send some up to Rich for him to try because I know he likes his sandalwood as well, and I'm sure he's going to be more than happy to receive it. Listen, thank you very much for your time. Always appreciated. Lots more reviews coming out, so please stay in touch and I hope you enjoy them when they arrive. Many thanks, cheers and bye!